Hi there, it's Chris from Learning Every Day, and I've just got a short video for you today about websites. Now, websites are the biggest frustration for most business owners. We're at a meetup just last night in St Andrews, and websites come up continually, time and time again, because there's so much information out there, so much conflicting information out there as well. And one of the basic things I want to talk about today is the contact page on your website. Now, this is a really important page. And it's important, and I can share a story with you actually. There's two people that I've been working with recently, in the recent past, who never had a contact form on their website, right? So when you went to their contact page, it simply just had their name, their address and their telephone number and maybe a clickable email address as well. I'll get onto that in a second. They never had a contact form, so it wasn't easy for people to contact the business for an inquiry. And that contact form, although you might think to yourself, no one ever fills them out, people do fill them out. And I'll explain to you just why in a second. So just by advising specifically two clients to put a contact form onto the website, they started to get inquiries. Okay, now that's really, really important because you don't want to miss out on that opportunity for business. Now, reflecting on a podcast that we did with David Meerman Scott, he talks about how he contacts a removals company, and that removals company that he went with was the one that got back to him the quickest and the best way. Now, if someone's contacting you through your contact form on your website, you want to be picking that up immediately and replying to them as soon as you possibly can. And that's another sort of basic tip as well. But having that contact form on your page is really, really important. And there's two other things I want to cover on that as well. Don't just have the contact form there. Have a little bit of copy at the top that advises people why they might want to contact you. So give them reasons. These are the reasons why people typically get in touch with us, 1, 2, 3, in a sort of bullet list. And then tell them what will happen when they fill the contact form out as well. So when you fill this contact form out, we will reply to you within XYZ during working hours. We'll get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. Be a bit more specific about it. You might even want to put a picture on there of the person that's going to be replying or calling them back. And part of your contact form might be to request a call or to get some information from them as well. You've got a bit more control when someone fills the form out, which brings me on to my next point as well. Now, on your website, you've probably got an email address somewhere as part of your sort of contact details. Make sure that email address does this specific thing. When someone clicks on that email address, it shouldn't open up their email client. Okay, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One is they might not be using the default email client on their device, which might be their mobile device, their computer, their laptop, whatever it might be. They probably aren't using that default email client, right? Which is what happens when you click an email. You've probably done it yourself where you've clicked an email address on a website and it opens up Outlook or it opens up Thunderbird or Apple Mail or something like that. And if you're not using that client, it's really, really frustrating. You have to copy the email address and paste it into your email. If you're on a mobile, that's a real pain in the neck. The best thing to do is to hyperlink that, so make it clickable, but it clicks through to the contact page instead where your form is, which makes it really easy for people to fill out and complete that form if they're on their mobile device, on an iPad, a tablet, or on their computer. And it means that you've got total control over them completing that form. And just make sure the form is really simple and gets the best information at that time. It's just an inquiry, so make sure that it's a basic form. It makes it really easy to fill out. That's the two big tips really, is to make sure that contact page is available. There's a contact form on it, and that you've got a clickable email address. If you have got a clickable email address on your website, that it clicks through to the contact page and doesn't open up an email client, because you could be on a public computer. You might be on a friend's computer or something like that, or your partner's computer, and it doesn't. When it opens up the default email client, it won't be your email address it's sending from. So push people to that contact page. Now, there's another couple of things really on that are really, really basic that you should definitely cover. And that is just making sure you've got your telephone number prominently on your website, usually in the top right-hand corner, in the bottom footer section as well. Make sure your address and your telephone number is on every single page, typically in the footer. Make sure it's on the contact page. Make sure you know how you want people to contact you as well. So if you want people to phone you, make sure that that's obvious. Okay, like call us today. This is how you get in touch with us. Phone us. Make sure that people understand that's what you want to do. However, you want people to fill out that contact form, make sure you're driving them to that contact page as well. So just understand what you want people to do. So the telephone number, make sure you've got your address prominently displayed. Make sure you've got a Google map on there. That's really, really easy to do. You can just go to your Google Maps, grab the code and paste it into your website. Make sure that's on there. Google loves that. and making sure you've got things like social share buttons and social buttons that takes people to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter account or whatever. And that's really like just really basic stuff, but to be honest, people miss out on that stuff all the time. And I think the key point I'm trying to make here is that just make sure it's really easy for people to understand what it is that you want them to do, and making sure that contact page has the contact form on it. It's test it, make sure it does work, and make sure you're following up with people in a timely fashion as well. And it's something that we all need to be better at, I think, as well. So congrats to the two guys that put that contact form on that page when I asked them to, and you know, they're getting inquiries through the website just by doing something really simple. So good luck to you. I know that websites are a big frustration. We can't cover it all today, but hopefully I'll come back to you with a few other website tips as well and a few stories to share with you. Until the next video, don't forget to be awesome.